Hi-oh, beaver! Away!
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Critscast. You've been watching some UGC Highlander over the past few weeks, and dabbling in a little bit of Sixes Nations Cup action. But we are back to the big stage now as ETF2L Highlander is on the horizon. Season 16 is about to get underway. We have one final order of business before the season starts, however, and that is to decide who is going to be taking that final spot. We have 5 confirmed teams with Strong Opinions and Tourette's Chess Club, former champions, returning to the top tier. We have the past 2 seasons runners-up, Fail Esports, coming back for another crack at the championship. We also have the team that finished 3rd last season, Lucrosa, joining as well. And Open Squad, who finished, I believe, 4th last season or 5th, will also be part of Premiership. We have 2 more teams here trying to take that final spot. In one side, we have a rather old team, inVision. They've played in Premiership before, but most recently they were playing in High again, having played in that division so many times. Will they have to play that tier once again, or will they get back into Premiership at the first time of asking? Up against them is Weed Cake Sellers, a team that hasn't actually played for a long time. However, many of the players has, as it looks like is a bunch of Prem, kind of former Prem players getting together to make up a new roster to try and get into Prem. So only one of these teams can take that 6th spot. I am CeeJaey, and I hope my voice doesn't fail me during this cast. If it does, it's okay, because I'm joined by Domaytoe, and Foppish will be catching all the glorious action. Domaytoe, are you hyped, man? Are you hyped?
Hello, I am kind of hyped. I'm, by the way, not taking the spade again where I make fun of your voice, so my voice breaks down halfway across as well. So I just go ahead and say, yes, I'm hyped, but I won't scream because we might be in for quite the long night. So the screaming will come in later. Maybe it will be pain inflicted as well, but I have to see how these teams actually play. But yeah, the thing is, I always like to see like preseason Prem qualifiers and stuff like that, and I was actually expecting a bit more games and more like teams to go through, but then I realized like only in the like more recent seasons this got more of a trend, you know, like back in the days it wasn't this common of a thing, then it got more common, and now it's again kind of this vacuum filling up. I was kind of listening when, I mean, that's always really beneficial to listen to your co-caster, but when you like said new teams coming in, you know, did I hear strong opinions there, or did I not hear this correctly?
Yeah.
Amazing.
Strong Opinions is back. Chess Club's back after they won High last season, so you know, there was a possibility, as Elephant weren't coming back to defend their championship. You know, they were kind of a 1-season thing. There was a possibility we were going to have a season with no kind of previous champions, but you know, SO and Chess Club are back, so that isn't the case.
Yeah. No, I only need Highlander to come back so I can finally watch Highlander again, you know. But yeah, I mean, CeeJaey, you kind of introduced like the teams to us. I don't know if they all have their players really, but you can maybe go down when you look at this, like what team do you actually like root for, or kind of, I don't know, like I don't see all the players, but maybe you can say something about this.
I think it's going to be difficult to say. I think inVision will come into this game as the favourites for definite. They've played more recently, and a lot of their players have played, you know, as a group for a long time. You know, inVision did play in Prem. They played last season, etc., etc. Weed Cake Sellers, I don't want to use the word mixed team because that'll be disrespectful. Clearly, they're, you know, prepared to play for the season, but this isn't, you know, a previous team with a couple of changes. This is a brand new roster being put together, and I think when it comes in situations like this early on in the season, it does come down to a little bit of synergy. You do need that bit of a chemistry between your players on the team. Sometimes you can throw in a bunch of DM gods and you can win a game, but when it's a close game, you do kind of have to favor the team that has a bit of experience with each other. I'm not sure what these lines are going to be like, as it does seem like we have kind of different players that I was expecting.
I mean, the thing is, you're talking about synergy, the first thing I see is Svarts playing medic in pregame. This makes me really scared, and he's on the wheat cake seller team. So I definitely, I'm not sure like if I want these people or if I envision in Prem next season again, because CeeJaey, they are literally the gods of the preseason qualifiers because they have so much experience with that nobody else can beat them. I can also add a bit of spice later on because I still have some inside information on looking at this team page of how they actually got mercs in and stuff like that, you know. I always like how Stinghand gets to use these mercs, but I'll get on that later. But I think they actually have all of their players already in, like, under the name of inVision. So I just go first and say, kind of my prediction is probably with inVision. So that's that. And
well, we can take a look at their roster.
Sure.
I think it's going to be Vori. He's going to be playing Scout. Has played High Scout more recently, so plenty of experience there. Soldier, I don't know. It's very difficult. So I think Pyro is going to be T. Borden. Demo, I imagine, is going to be Demos, the Romanian demo who has played Prem 6s. Heavy, I would guess Tuka, who was a Premiership debut of the season when he played for inVision in his first season. Medic, I would guess, is going to be Tercio, who has a lot of experience playing in 6s as medic, but also in Highlander as well. We have someone tagged up as Depression God 3224. That is FTH.
Indeed.
Yeah, so I imagine he's going to be playing Spy. Very good Spy, and should be interesting to see how he plays. We also have Sting, and he's actually here, commonly referred to as the team manager, but it could be that he is actually playing Sniper. But we'll have to see who else is playing what other classes. I mean, Soldier could be Nip Nop, whoever that is.
Who's the, I mean, look at the ping and look at the profile pictures. 100% American. So I don't know who that is.
But that is a Latios. That is a Pokemon. Domaytoe. I'm just going to educate your uncultured mind.
Come on,
okay, it's a legendary Pokemon from the Hoenn region. I ain't going to go into details. But yeah, it does look like an American, but I'm not sure who that is. So maybe we can get some information from the Twitch chat. But I'm going to guess Wiethoofd, who has played so many classes in Prem. Demo, Pyro, Spy. I do believe he's going to be playing Engineer. He was a very good Engineer.
Basically the Ukrainian Beep, if Beep was ever good.
Wiethoofd, he's really good. And I think more recently played Demo for Wasp, but he'll be playing Engineer, I believe. So I'm gonna throw it out there and say Nip Nop is going to be the personal soldier, whoever that is. Looking at Weed Cake Sellers, like I said, a slightly new roster. I'm going to start from the bottom. We always start with Scout. I'm going to start with the bottom. It's going to be a Fire team leader on Spy. Sniper is going to be Ollie. Medic, I imagine, is going to be Heartsfarts, who has been playing Medic recently. Heavy, probably Buck. Demo, Skyper. Engineer, Zamperoni. Scout is definitely going to be Tomas. Pyro is going to be Sis. And Soldier is going to be Secret Soup, whoever that is. I mean, if you want me to say your name, you've got to have the name right, on the stream. So we don't know who our soldiers are today, Domaytoe. We do know our map. The first map is going to be Payload. And it's going to be Upward. Okay, just quickly going over the picks and bans, if you guys want to listen. So, Weed Cake Sellers banned Gullywash. They did not want 5CP. Stinghand banned Coal Plant and picked this map. So this is inVision's pick. So we'll definitely be playing Upward, and we'll be definitely playing Warm Tick after this, which was Weed Cake Sellers map. After another couple of bans, the decider is Badwater. So we have two potential payload maps here. We'll have to see how the first two maps go. It is actually Bees on Soldier. I should have known that. My Soil Bees is going to be Soldier for Weed Cake Sellers. But yes, it's going to be Demos actually. So this is different to what we thought, Domaytoe. Demos is going to be on Soldier. Wiethoofd is going to be on Demo. And Nip Nop is going to be an Engineer. I'm just gonna go. Hey, just
yes.
Guess.
The gates
Who's gonna win? Who's gonna win? Those are the bets.
Well, the thing is, I was with inVision, but then I saw that Stinghand banned product, so never mind. I'm still going with inVision, as they're currently working their players in here. They're waiting for this kind of suicide wave. The big jump in actually by Wiethoofd on top, and he gets Ollie. Really good frag as well. I mean, he didn't sync up with his spy there, which is always questionable, but he got the sniper frag, which is really important. I don't know if they actually want to do a big suicide wave. Okay, there comes Demos on top, doesn't get anything, gets gunned down there. by the Brass Beast or something, whatever back 824 is using. But the sniper's up against CeeJaey, so this was like a semi-suicide wave. I would have liked them to maybe push, but yeah, they kind of, I don't know, spawned on something that could have happened.
I mean, usually with this, you want to get a big pick, and getting the demo is a big pick, but not when you lose your own demo. Ollie getting a snipe there, so he's really kind of kicking off this game. But you can see this far right side. Bees is the only person trying to hold on it, and Demos comes in with the bomb. Oh, so much damage onto Hearts. He's down to 8 HP. That man has balls of steel. That is absolutely insane. Buck does go down, so that huge amount of HP has been removed from the field. But Hearts holding on to that Uber, just a couple of points of damage. Absolutely insane. But
they wanted to dry push after this. FTH went for the gun, and then the demo got aggressive, but they didn't sync up properly, so they're bleeding players right now. I don't like this kind of undecisiveness. The thing is, you're relying on huge plays or something, but just take this Uber exchange. Wiethoofd is completely alone here, aggressive, and gets piped down, so this just stalls out even more. And there comes the Uber siege, will be probably pretty garbage.
Absolutely terrible Uber. I mean, it's just a solo Uber on a Pyro. You're just going to push back there. Fire is actually trying to get involved here in the mix onto the medic. Hearts did use his Uber slightly later, so technically Tercio has an Uber advantage here, but he was just using his Uber to keep his players alive. Skyper getting so aggressive, just getting some damage down where he can. We see a huge bomb in from Demos, but he's going to get denied by the Sentry. And we see a bit of a drive push coming in from inVision. Now they're trying to get some damage down. They need to remove these players. They're just getting free reign. Look at Ollie. He's kind of weak, but he's under no pressure. Buck is on the Brass Beast. He's not getting pressure whatsoever. He can just put out damage, but a big stab from FTH takes down Zamperoni. A body shot from Stingin is going to take down Skyper, and Ollie also goes down as well. These are pretty much the 3 biggest picks you can get, as Stinghand goes absolutely nuts on Hearts as well. So Stinghand basically just opening the door for his team there, killing 3 crucial players and being like, hey, go, just I mean, go do your thing.
I mean, he missed 5 shots before he got something, but this great stuff about Sniper, you always see him when he hits those shots, you know. I mean, they got him on the top right, and they actually getting aggressive here, which is the important thing, just with their players, with their aggression. They're going to kind of spawn camp them in, and they still have this big Uber advantage. And the red team, like Wiethoofd, probably don't feel content contesting this. I mean, Skyper is in here, but he takes a lot of damage, so they're just going to see this second out even having to use the Uber. As Thomas, though, gets the pick onto Tour, I don't think it will matter this much as the Heavy will get forward spawn, but yeah, CeeJaey definitely has them in good shape. Now it's important to see if they want to push aggressive, because they still have 50% advantage, or they just want to get this card forward.
Yeah, I mean, 3 minutes isn't the fastest time you'd see for the first couple of points, but the momentum they got over those first couple of points was really good. I mean, they did exactly what they needed to do. You can get time on second, so to be able to roll it like that is really good. But what Wiethoofd have done here is really smart. They've backed off the third. They've now got a level 3 up. They've got their sniper up, and Hearts is going to get a Zuba. You see the Zuba comes in really early. The pop is so early, and they're actually not going to lose any players here. Thomas goes down, as does as Bees, but T. Borden falls down into that ever grateful pit. But Domaytoe kills Hearts.
Yeah, there we go. I think it translates Domaytoe to Children Eater or something, so he just ate the children there. Hearts gets taken out. Ollie gets stabbed as well, CeeJaey. They're just pressuring this here. Only 5 players up on the defending team. They're kind of just dry pushing this now from heals. They just have to play this conservatively. Tua goes down, but Fire gets cleaned up in the end by Worry, and they're just healing on their players on card. And yeah, the defending team doesn't feel comfortable anymore, so even though they took a lot of time on first, you know, they kind of rolled this, which definitely puts them into good shape, and I like to see that they don't lose their mind and their discipline, just push this with their advantages.
Yeah, Domaytoe went down there, so I think he was trying to get aggressive, maybe stop some stuff going, getting built there. But the problem from Wiethoofd is they were set up perfectly, and they actually had a better Uber, but they just weren't well positioned when the Ubers wore off. You got to make sure after your Uber's done, if you're not going to kill a bunch of stuff, you got to make sure that once that Uber wears off, you're in a position to be able to fight. Skyper taking down FTH as he tried to go for a stab. But we see so much cap tank, and Nipnop doing a great job of just chilling on that cart, pushing it forward, making sure, they keep that cap tank. It's not going to get reset. And we see the aggression up top here, trying to get some pressure here, but Skyper doing a great job of just holding this doorway, just getting damage down. Tuho can't get forward, as he is just tanking that damage. But again, we're in a situation in Domaytoe where Hearts has 100% Uber. They've managed to get out and get this last point, right?
They're holding this really passive with assist just covering this top. Oh, there we go. There comes the jump though. Demos got destroyed by Reflect before the life before, but this time actually it's a really nice force, and the medic of who's that Churchill is all the way out, so they're just probably sealing to see this off. I mean, it isn't the worst thing in the world, you know, to get forced. I mean, it's still quite bad, but you still have like your massive defensive positions to play off. Stingen goes down, which is really good as well, so they can just take this aggressive here. Beast actually uses the conch to get a bit of pressure, and they're all the way out on tracks. They're probably, they're pushing under here with their full Uber. But if they position themselves, they're on the defending team, because now this Uber, you know, it takes all the space. They get 2 frags, but they can still do this on the defending team.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, that was really well rotated by weak cake sellers. They've gone to this passive hold. They've got back up top with the sentry. They're just trying to control where the cart is. Nipnop's doing a great job of just pushing the cart forward. It finally does get contested by Skyper, but at the moment it's all about whether Stinghen can get some frags. He does. He takes down Buck. Big jump in from Demos now. He's getting pressure on the top. We see it, the medic Hearts does get into spawn, not too much pressure there, but Domaytoe just jumps in so deep here. So much damage coming down, 2 players left alive here. It's all down to Bees and Hearts to try and get something done. They can't deny the cut any longer, and that is 627, and I have to say, that is a pretty good push coming out of inVision. You know, a couple of stutterings here and there, but they looked comfortable going all the way through that map.
Yeah, they just, when they had in the end there, they lost their medic, okay, but what you pointed out, like, that was the important stuff when Demos jumped balcony and the rest of the players just played around their positional advantages this time, so they just bled them out. The problem with weak cake sellers is they had this small window to make something work, you know, just to edge your health advantage out with Hearts still alive, so they just had to take balcony or like have to commit to a position quickly. But yeah, it was pretty well played there, the last push especially. The thing is, like, I was a bit critical when they took so long on, but you can always eke this out, you know, you just don't have to lose your nerves, you just have to trade on the points after that, and it can definitely make this work, because Upward is just such a map to hold a lot of points on and eke a lot of time out. So it isn't actually the worst thing in the world to fail on first, but you know, CeeJaey, how it always is, if I'm kind of rooting for the offensive team now if they do a suicide wave, because if you do a suicide wave and you do that properly synced, you definitely deserve to win a round. But yeah, I mean, it will be interesting actually to see. Also, Hearts is using a lot of Ubers in spawn, so I just want to make you aware, if he gets in Prem, just don't take his stats into calculation.
But we'll see how it goes. 2 kills straight away from Wiethoofd. He takes down Thomas and Zamp. Those are the cart pushers of Payload. And clearly they did not check the trap underneath the cart. But we'll see what goes on now as Skyper jumps in. Bees is going along the floor. Skyper comes in late. Gonna get anything done? He doesn't. He gets taken down. Tuka also running that brass beast strat, where you're kind of like a second sentry on the high ground, just protecting your sniper and things like that. But not much pressure onto Tercio here, so he still has that Uber in the bank. We'll have to see what's going on.
Thomas is behind battling Demos here. Will probably win the fight as well, because he's a scout and he's battling. Oh no, he backs up with a pussy. There's just this distraction for me actually behind, but in the front, you know, CeeJaey definitely does not favor them, as they just lead their players out, so they actually need players up to push properly. There's also a bit of time. Ollie goes down there, which really big loss as well, because now you have to push into a sniper sideline, and Hearts doesn't feel comfortable doing that.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of need a pick, and Stinghan's popping off a little bit here. He's on make that a 4-kill streak. So he takes down some key players. Skyper in a 10-second queue there for the respawn. You see Bees trying to get some pressure onto that sniper. It's pretty much a crucial pick here. I mean, if you get that sniper down, it allows your medic to come out really uncontested. Doesn't have to worry about, you know, popping. Make sure you don't get backstabbed, and you're pretty much golden. We see Demos there, gets forced back, so much damage. Kind of has to back away there. Thomas is still behind, kind of causing problems, just drawing a couple of players back. We see, huge headshot from Stingen. Takes out Skyper just before an Uber was about to use it. They're just dropping players left, right, and centre. And we see Haas is in. He's going to use the Uber onto Sis, but it's going to be a bad Uber. It's a Pyro only. Stinghan on a 6-kill streak. Someone stop that man. And we do see the Uber just pushed out here. Buck tries to come out from behind. They're actually getting some frags here, Domaytoe.
The thing is, okay, now they're getting trapped behind them. They can make this work if they're really clear respawns, but I don't think they will. The main issue was Hearts really had a death wish there when he was just literally peeking Stinging 24/7, and then the demo peeks the sniper once, and it was pretty important pick. He probably just should have used earlier. Currently though, the thing is, what I said, like, they're making this with their spawns, actually, like, not as I thought they would, but now with the second spawn wave, playing from top. The heavy slicker mid, he actually guns someone down there, Zamperoni going down, but yeah, I mean, they've taken this, but it's only 4 minutes, they really have to roll this fast, and the main issue is they got out pretty convincingly. They're the defending team and still sitting on a 50% advantage as Thomas bonks in once again. But yeah, Buck goes down as well, so defending team definitely sitting on a comfortable spot here.
Yeah, but Dito does go down. He's in this respawn queue for 20 seconds now, and Demos goes down. Absolutely no splash damage coming in from the defending team now. And Niplop's just got a level 1 sentry. He's in a decent position, but that's going to go down quite early on. Skyper running the lock and load. So he's going to be dispatching buildings with ease. And this could be the potential for having to give up second here. You see Tercio does have 100% Uber in the bank, but Hearts is only at 60%. The counter Uber, well, the Uber comes in. Steve Warden is going to take all of it, just hold that W key and walk forward, trying to get some damage down. They do kill a bunch of players, but Hearts does get away, so he's going to have an Uber advantage here.
That was nice. Hearts tripped in into that because he doesn't feel comfortable walking through the tunnel, so he just gets slain there. He probably could have walked out tunnel. I'm not sure. Would have been like a 50-50 gamble. Wiethoofd is still behind. He gets cleaned up in the end. I mean, even if they wouldn't have gotten Hearts, they just got so many frags and just stalled it out for half a minute more, which is really important because they don't have a lot of time to play really with the weak cake sellers that is. And inVision right now, I mean, Tua is a bit overcommit there. I don't like this, so they have the sentry gun as well on level 2, a bit more forward. It just spams out Skyper here a bit. Skyper is spamming it back though because he's a good demo man. Goes down there, lock and load. Okay, never mind, he's not. Hearts though, Hearts goes down the back end of that, so they can actually just stabilize with having their heals here on inVision.
Yeah, I mean, it's really interesting actually because inVision are playing really passive. They're really far back. You look how much space they're giving the likes of Sis and Buck. They're kind of walking forward and they're getting time on the cap for free. But when it comes to counter Uber, as like I say, they have these Ubers and they're getting aggressive with them. They're chasing people down. Buck is trying his best but does get taken down by the Pyro. But they don't get the medic this time. Hearts is safe. And they are picking up some frags here, Domaytoe. They picked up 3. Thomas gets domed by Stinger, but hey, it's a Scout Bees with the big jump. Huge damage down. Can he get any frags? No, he can't. The sentry does go down to Skyper, but that distraction with Bees, he almost got the medic, but you know, that kind of attention that he drew to him was all that he needed.
The thing is, yeah, I mean, it was kind of the gamble. They would have gotten this point either way, but he definitely had the potential there to get the medic. It was kind of unfortunate. The Uber deficit here actually doesn't matter, because it's just a really long point to just push this card off. And the main issue there was, you said, like, they had a lot of potential on the offensive team before to push the card, but they didn't, so the defending team actually overcommitted with their Uber, though. Right now, Hearts actually makes use of the 20% advantage, so Matt actually can do something here. There's a lot of damage on Tertiary early. I mean, it doesn't matter so much that they don't get him, but they do have to get a lot of frags here. Stingen goes down, so they can actually hold this, because Tertiary will probably have Uber, but he doesn't have the players with him. And there we go, Tuha also goes down really late on in the fight, and that was a really nice push there, actually. But we'll see how the counter Uber works out.
Yeah, the counter Uber comes in. It's going to be used mostly onto Vori. He's just going to get that ground to chase the medic. Doesn't actually manage to take him down. So Hearts has survived on weak HP. Finally does go down in sheer house to that pipe from Dito. And I think that's pretty much GG for this first round. 35 seconds left to go. And Weak Cake Sellers haven't managed to capture that third point. It was close though. I mean, give or take like 10-15 seconds. If they'd got that medic with the Uber, they would have had an Uber advantage going into last, and that should have been an easy kill. Or an easy, kind of conversion of the round. But they used the Uber, they got a bunch of kills. The important thing was though, they didn't get the medic kill. When you're on second, you have like this, you're in this kind of no man's land when you're pushing third, because the spawn for third is the last point, but you have that drop down. The respawns came in quick, the Uber was there. All Tercio needs to do is wait for some players to be able to take the Uber, go in. All you need to do is Uber onto the car, get a couple of frags, and you've won the round. So really, the medic kill onto Tercio there was really, really needed, and they didn't get that. And that's something we've been seeing all throughout the game. Weak Cake Sellers, with their Ubers, they're not getting enough kills, or they're not getting the crucial kills that they need to take a huge advantage into the next fight. Whereas inVision are getting aggressive, they're taking down Hearts, they're taking down players that are having an impact on the game. So that's what I feel Weak Cake Sellers need to do. There's not been anything really bad with their pushes. They just need to make sure Hearts survives and they focus Tercio. Their defense, I have to say, was atrocious. Like, just going back, every single time they got pushed on a point, they lost it. Like,
the thing is, okay, like I don't want to spur on too much controversy. I mean, obviously, it would have definitely helped them to get the medic there. The main thing is you can play this differently. I mean, I'm pretty sure they would have haven't like gotten the round either way, if like even if they got the medic, because they had like only 10 seconds or something to push last. The thing was also, I mean, yeah, obviously you wouldn't have like have their players coming in, even though it was like 50% second respawn time. But anyway, so even if they didn't get their medic, they had such good positions on when they were in the house in the barn area, but back to their medic, and they just allowed massively better Uber. I mean, it's always kind of this post-factual bit critical, because you have like different conditions, you know, to make a point work basically, or to hold a point. So I can see your point, but I feel like they could have made something out of that. The other way around though is they couldn't, because they only had 20 seconds. But yeah, I mean, it's always this and that, you know, it's give and take. It's always different strategies and approaches. CeeJaey, though, you always like numbers, come on. So we don't get really controversial early here in this game. So we have a look at that one.
Yeah, I'm taking a look at the logs right now, and I mean, the first thing that has to stand out for me is the difference in the medic deaths. I was talking about it just now, that I felt inVision were being so aggressive with the Ubers, they were getting in deep, so they were getting access to hearts, or at least pushing him far back, that, you know, he was kind of getting pressured, and then a next wave, you know, like a soldier or a demo would come in and finally take him down. Tercio died once, and Hearts died 7 times. So if your medics died once in the entire game, you know, you've got a really good chance of winning that game. Wiethoofd did manage to go all the way to 3rd. They could have potentially, like, it wasn't a total roll. I just felt that when if
they have a better defense, they can make this work on offense.
Yeah, exactly. That's it, really. Their defense just wasn't good enough. I mean, Stinghan was obviously a huge player for inVision in that game. He top fragged on the server, going 18 for 9. So 18 kills in 15 minutes is pretty decent. And when he was going unchecked, he was getting big frags onto big players. He opened it up for them on offense, and on defense, he was very difficult to push against, because he was taking down key players like Skyper. I mean, Skyper did a lot of damage, over 500 DPM, which was the most in the server, and that's considering he died, you know, 12 times. So he's dying quite a lot, but that's because he's getting focused by the sniper. So you really need more pressure on that sniper, more pressure on Stingen. There isn't anything else that really jumps out to me there.
Well, Fire went in 14, sorry, that's not trash talk, but that just seems Fearboy-esque to me. Really makes me happy to see that I'm not the only one with terrible locks. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, who else needs to step up, do you feel, for Weedcake? I mean, we talked about the defense, but is there any individuals that need to get into the game more?
Ooh, that's kind of rough to judge, because in essence, like, especially payload, it doesn't really matter about your locks per se. It matters how much momentum you can gain, and just to die in the right positions. And I feel like they didn't die in the right positions. I mean, that was also what you said, like, when they had this Uber, they just didn't have enough players up in this kind of scenario to plow forward, honestly. So I feel like they have to be a bit more conservative about their lives. I don't see a big, like, damage deficit or something like that. Like, they have to fix stuff like that, where Fire gets flamed down early and they don't have a successful suicide wave. There we go. Demo comes in though, maybe can get something. No, they don't get any damage because Tercio is holding passive.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's still potential here. They just need to wait for Beast to get back up, and you can see Skyper there is just waiting on the left-hand side. The suicide is going to come in. He's going to go in deep again, see if he can get anything done. Decent damage, but does get taken down, and still no force.
It's still no set as well. Like, you can tell I don't like this. Fire goes for the sniper pick maybe this time. There is still a bit pressure from forward, so we can actually make this work, because Beast is also pressuring the C. You should call now. A demo actually goes down, so they have the flank down. That definitely enables them. They don't need a lot more here. I feel like they should just take this exchange. Wiethoofd goes down really like weak as well, so they just force him into passive position, but Bug goes down, so they're kind of squandering this. Here comes the Uber. I feel a bit too late. They can still make this work if they just assume top position, but nobody is with them, CeeJaey.
Nobody's following up, but there we go. Ollie opening things up, takes down Domaytoe, no demo, no sniper, and no NG, as Nipnop has also gone down. So many players dying here for inVision. Tercio has to be careful. That sentry is extremely weak, and he doesn't have very many players for company. Skyper is actually behind. Thomas is on Tercio. Can he get him done? Can he hit the shots? So much opportunity. Tercio finally goes down to the pipe of Skyper. Iron Bomber is OP, who knows, but it's allowed. That's the main thing. And a huge advantage here for Weedcake sellers right now. They have a massive Uber advantage. TF2 is still dead for another 10 seconds, as is Tuka. So that is going to be a huge opportunity for them to take second for free. That Sentry is just a level 1, yeah. And this passive hold can't do anything. They have no heals. Unless someone beefs here, or there's a major play from someone on inVision, this second point is going down very, very quickly.
They need a scan class if they use this Uber because they want to use it. I can see it. Yeah, Sky. Oh no! Skyver got juggled there, so Hearts just had to follow up. This was like why I wanted them to use the Uber. I mean, I can actually work out in the deficit here if they just. Yeah, they're brave. I like this from inVision. They're just taking all this ground here because Hearts just dropped. They're just all getting aggressive here on tracks. Really nice play. They're just cleaning all the players up. They just have to watch out that they don't feed too many players into hiding players, but they don't. It kind of equals out, and they actually just congregated on the second point as well. Tuha goes down though, but Hearts gets stabbed somewhere from FDH, so this will be interesting. I mean, the cards really far close. Really far? No, really close, sorry. And Skyver just pressures this, but yeah, they have 8. Okay, never mind, they don't have 80% advantage. What is happening, CeeJaey?
Basically, the medics are dying. that's what's happening. I mean, it was really unfortunate for Hearts there, dying to that body shot, and then he got backstabbed again, so it's the assassin classes again for inVision really turning it up here, but TF2 also went down. And because of the longer respawn times for the defending team, that means Hearts is going to have a decent advantage, 30% advantage for the pushing team. FDH is in position to maybe try to go for another stab here on the medic. But we see Sis here is a little bit more aware now. He's just checking around, doesn't want any pressure. You see Fire, you caught him out there for only getting 4 kills. He gets a crucial kill onto Stinger, so they are doing what we talked about, focusing that sniper. But Skyper does take down Demo, Soldier down, but he trades his life for it. Not a really good trade. He tried his best, but when you got that soldier in drop down, Bees tries to go for him, but again, Tuka is there, just denying anyone from getting onto that platform. And FDH is getting,
he's getting a lot of really key frags there. Definitely stalls them out, and it just helps them to. I mean, he's 20-second respawn now. Thomas there gets piped down, and Cliff, that was really, really juicy just to watch. They actually stabilized here. Tuha goes down. I don't like this kind of because they have this long. Respawn wave. Zamperoni is hiding in the shithouse, and this isn't sparing once again because this house is called Dislocation, but the Uber actually is really well denied. Hearts almost falls down and Sis dies as well, so they literally soak this up without even having to use their Uber, and the cards still far back, like kind of decently back.
Yeah, I mean, it's really poor use of the Uber there. I really feel you need your demo there at all to kind of just lock down that corner, and when it's a Pyro and a Heavy, you just get pushed away. You cannot control that area with those players. Stinghunter is back up, and he is back fragging, takes down the Pyro again this time. And we do see just kind of an Uber advantage. I mean, that defensive Uber, I'm not sure why TF2 used. Maybe they were trying to be aggressive with it and, you know, pick someone off, but they didn't get Hearts this time. Stinghunter again, he's just not missing shots today. What is going on? Takes down Ollie, takes down Butt. He's getting aggressive here. But yeah, the manager has turned up.
He's just getting these frags, honestly. Yeah. I don't like how this. Yeah, okay, there we go. He gets piped down as well as Detoured. So I was just about to say I don't like how this. Oh, Hearts though gets killed by the flank. I was just going to call out. So maybe only the kind of the combo was aggressive, but it will probably not. Interesting in the end because there's a scout fight on card and actually stabilizing. They get a lot of frags. They just have to spam out the gun. Yeah, I like this. The combo kind of was a bit overextended. They're from a defending team. They're actually getting frags here. I mean, Tua got some frags in the end. They're just still not dealing with the sentry properly. They can actually get slowed out here because now the respawns come in. This is really weird.
Okay, I was going to call out Hearts because he made a mistake there, pushing in early, you know, and he got taken down by the soldier, but he's got 2 saws onto FDH. He's back up to 80% now. He's so close to Uber. TF2 just used his. So their Uber advantage has gone. They have 4 players down. They have no NG, no sentry, and their flank has just been totally demolished right now. Beast takes down T-Borden as well. Stingen is doing his best to keep his tenants in the game, but Skypick jumps forward, takes down the medic. Can he take down anyone else? He's onto Sting, and Detoured has gone down to a backstab, and this is a huge opportunity to make 100% for Hearts now. 2 players up for inVision. They can take this through, Uber in, consolidate on last, get that conversion into the round, and they can get this sub 7-minute time would be really good to take into the defensive phase.
There we go. They get Bury. They took like 3 or 4 seconds too long now. Back they. Oh god. You need spam classes to actually jump balcony so you can Uber them. I don't like this. They're getting ahead of themselves. There comes Beast. He can't be Ubered anymore. He gets fired down and actually goes weak, so he can't jump anymore. They're just taking this high ground position here with their spawns. They were just 3 seconds to to kind of slow, and then they didn't have their correct players to have in the Uber. They're kind of pressuring this here from the front, but it kind of equals out. 25% advantage on inVision right now, and they're just stabilizing here. And once again, I mean, the card really got pushed up. We can't kind of not notice that. Fire gets on the hunt of both combo members. Let's see, Tuha goes down, so that's already a pick. But yeah, I mean, the card's kind of really... I am so missing vocabulary. It's really far to the point, CeeJaey. So they only have to get some players and dry push and maybe force this Uber out and then repush.
I mean, it was a total misplay with that Uber. They had a huge advantage. They really just need to get the ground and have players, like you said, spam classes that are able to deny the respawns. Pushing with a heavy on the low ground, you end up losing more players than you kill in an Uber situation. Hearts goes down there to Stinghand, who really is just pounding for inVision right now, and a lot of the players fall by the wayside as a result. Tercio is at 30%, so he's going to have a decent advantage over his opposing medic. And that does mean that weak cake sellers have some work to do here. They need to get their pick classes into position. They need to start to work the angles, get those plays in, get some ground, as they try to do on the front stairs here. Domaytoe and Demos are there. The combination of spam trying to deny that doorway. But at the moment, weak cake sellers, you know, you're in a position where you don't have an Uber advantage. You really just need a huge play. And Ollie, you take it down to her. That's pretty big. That's decent. And that can maybe open things up for somebody else.
Fire did reset the card. He stayed on too long, so he actually died, but I still like this. Was not the perfect play, and they're kind of making pressure. They actually forced them just with this aggression. I feel like, yeah, Hots, is he getting out? I don't know. He's on top, he's just fighting. He was a bit overcommitted there. I don't actually see him. Okay, never mind. Okay, he goes down. That's why I don't see him. He's in the respawn wave right now, because he was, as I was saying, a bit overcommitted there. They're actually handing them like 50% advantage right now. There is just this immensely pressure here, as there's so much pressure on the server. It just goes into a pause, and Tercio also got a kind of server-destroying frame with his crossbar on the spy there. But yeah, or maybe it was the Dringer. I don't care.
It was onto Zamp, I think. Zamperoni,
oh, really?
The engineer. You take a look at where Tercio is right now. He's at 35 HP. Like you said, he has an Uber advantage. It's about 40%. The only person he's got for company is Vori, who's on 11 HP. And he's fighting against Thomas, the opposing scout, who, with his lovely moustache, is at 100 HP. Now, as you can probably guess,
there we go, yeah.
that is more HP. Yeah, that is more HP than Vori. So Thomas would be favourite for this fight, especially as he has his scattergun out and Vori has just his pistol. However, if Vori was to switch to his scattergun, land a perfect meat shot and kill Thomas in one shot, then everyone's going to be hunky-dory. And
please film the faces of these scouts. This looks like an Italian comedy or something like that, and there's just Tercio just being the slapstick German coming in from the back, and it tries, I don't know, you stole my pizza, pasta, pepperoni, and then they, I don't know, they kind of battle it out. Really unprofessional right now. But yeah, CeeJaey, I mean, definitely a nice scene you found here.
Yeah, I mean, it's crucial because I feel at the moment weak cake sellers are... they're floundering in situations where they've got equal Ubers. When they've got an advantage, okay, that was a beefed push earlier on, but most of the time they're actually not doing too badly with it. They're rolling on to the next point, they're doing okay. But when it's equal Ubers like this, they're not working around players like Ollie. Like, Fire's been getting picked. He's got got a lot of points so far in this game. Ollie's been getting some snipes, trying to get Bs in for a bomb, trying to get Skyper to put some pressure down. Just send those plays in, try to get a force, try to get a pick onto something crucial. But they're not. They're just trying to all go in and take fights. And when you do that, the defending team is always going to have an advantage. So when you do that and then your medic dies, like you said, you're just handing an Uber advantage to the enemy team. The kind of redeeming factor in this case is if Thomas kills Vori. I mean, his gun is exactly trained on him while Vori is like looking at slightly to the left. So we can imagine Thomas could actually win this fight. He can kill Vori and then probably go on to Tercio. He doesn't even have to go for a full meat shot. Only person who's got something to say about that is probably Tuka. He's at 300 HP. And he's just behind Tercio, so he could come into the action. But potentially, we could see Thomas with a 3k here. And that could really open things up for weak cake sellers. That would give them an advantage in the Uber stakes. That would give them, a lot of HP off the battlefield. And that would give them control, potentially, to push up top. But it's about whether they take these advantages,
So I think Worry will probably die from Thomas. Then Toshio won't recognize that there's a heavy behind because everyone is probably screaming from this scene. Then Hotspots will switch to Vaccinator, drop 3 times, and then at some point the card will get pushed in. So I think this is basically how it will go down. But I mean, it's six-ish minutes, you know. CeeJaey, I feel like these days it got pushed a bit kind of faster upward, at least from my feeling or what other people tell me. Even though back in the day, I remember that upward was kind of way longer. You could argue that this is because these teams push quite properly, but just seeing this game, I feel like it's a bit more that people don't realize how they have to play defense, as we just kind of have to fill the gap here until they unpause. Do we actually have the information? Maybe someone timed out. I saw somewhere before someone writing that Hearts is in the toilet, but I don't think this is the case right now.
I mean, that is worthy of a pause during an official. I mean, sometimes when you gotta go, you gotta go. You know, you just gotta make it happen. But I'm not sure what's going on. I'm sure it's probably just someone timed out or lagging, or you know, someone has to answer the door to get their pizza. You know, but it does look like we are going to be I mean, from this situation here, like, how do you kind of rate Wheat Cake Sellers' chances on upward at the moment? I mean, this was inVision's pick, so you would expect them to be confident on this map and potentially one of their stronger maps, right? If they're picking it first. But I mean, Wheat Cake Sellers, as we are going on live, and Thomas takes down Void, but he gets taken out by Tuga. Oh, that is huge. Tercio survives, but no, he doesn't. The Pyro comes in, Sis comes with a follow-up. We were looking at Thomas. It was all about Sis coming in for the magic ace there, just to take down the medic. So uber advantage for Hearts now. Yeah, so I pose you the question, Domaytoe, can Wheat Cake Sellers convert this?
I mean, they can probably convert this if they play their cards right and don't Uber a heavy on a low ground once again, completely alone by himself. They just have to work off their Pyro, who isn't only getting assists, no, he's actually fragging them down. They're kind of taking this top here right now, so they have 50% advantage. Tuha goes down, really big pick there by Fire, and he's still up. They're getting a lot of frags here. Beast gets FDH and Bury, so they get a lot of picks before the Uber even has to be popped. Thomas got a lot of kind of card pressure. Skyper goes down though, which isn't the best thing in the world. They're just pressuring this card here. I feel like it's gonna be really clutches. There's an Uber on the card. Hello, your players can't push this card here, and they might actually cringe this. I'm not completely sure. They have a Pyro on it right now, as they just have to heal assist. So no, they actually get blasted off, and they can. Oh no, they're defending this. It was really crucial, and it's kind of clutch here. Now the Pyro's up once again. Come on, you can do it, and they finally do it. I can't see the time right now. It was a bit more luck than I would have liked to, but in the end, CeeJaey, it works out.
It's always good play to get that Pyro onto the cart. You can reflect away any projectiles that are trying to, you know, deny the cart pushes, and anyone with bullets isn't going to be doing them that much damage unless they're getting close, which is what the other players are there on the cart for. But in the end, I can't see the time. Hang on.
I'm retrying as well. I can just get out of the way that Burden definitely did something for his defending team here, so he isn't actually a burden to his own team, you know, he's a burden to the enemy team. So it will be interesting if they can just keep working off their Pyros as both medics this time, CeeJaey. They're just using... Are you doing this? Are you boosting your locks by using Uber in the pregame? Who does that? I
always do it, just for, you know, warm my fingers up. I always... You get a chance to do 2 Ubers in the pregame, and then I just do it so I just flash everyone really quickly. You know, but you know, if it's not, like you say, it's not about the logs. It doesn't matter if you have like a billion Ubers in the pregame. If you still lose the game, then you know,
it's almost 10 minutes.
Right?
Can you win a game where you have 10 minutes to defend for? I'm not sure. Maybe if the enemy team doesn't have a suicide wave once again and the spy doesn't sap the gun once again, but we have to see. Demos is on the direct hit right now, and Scap is just exchanging spam here with Wiethoofd currently. There's nothing really happening. Everybody's really kind of whoa, okay, Demos goes down. So this wasn't actually a traditional suicide wave, as they're not doing this once again. Stinghan gets developed on the left side and gets a pick onto Sis, so it's like a chess and immediately goes down. So I mean, they got some frags, but they're being some players. I mean, they're just dry pushing this card forward. I still have to question where the suicide wave is.
Yeah, I mean, I feel these days some teams just don't want to suicide, and I don't think that's a team decision. I think sometimes a soldier or a demo is just like, I don't want to. They just want to get that forward pressure and just kind of claim that high ground that is above the stairs to try and give the rest of their players a bit of a platform. I can understand that. Dito goes in with the sword. He's zoomed in with the shield, and Hearts doesn't use, but I mean, if you're a medic and you see that crit sword coming in, you're gonna be scared. But the Uber has come in from the attacking team here. CeeJaey is gonna take most of it. The counter Uber should come in. His Sis is waiting and waiting. He finally does get it. 2 is just gonna get destroyed. It just gets melted away. Zamperoni has gone down to Stingham though, so that means no NG to protect or rebuild that sentry. So that level 3 is quite passive. It's not going to get spammed out easily, but it is not going to be able to be protected until Zamp is back up. Skyper has gone down, but Ollie does take down Demos in return. There's just so much pressure on the car. They're just dry pushing this Domaytoe. They just want to focus guys. Stingen takes down Zamperoni again. It's a big jump in from Dito, takes down Beast, doesn't get Hearts. He's probably the frag he wants, but the aggression coming out of inVision right now, they're taking so much ground for free. And it's going to be really difficult for Weak Sellers to kind of do anything. They don't have a sentry. Ollie really needs to hit some headshots here.
Just this pressure here from Jax currently detoed. Squander's in a bit early. They're actually getting some frags on the offensive team before they even get their Uber. They maybe thought that their deficit was a bit bigger than it actually was, but Hearts gets jumped early there. And they can actually retake this though, because they don't have the numbers anymore for the offending team. They just have to control Sting, and who gets really weak, which is really important. And the thing is, like, Hearts on the first point played this kind of a bit too cocky there. I feel like the scout goes down and Stingen goes down. I can't actually get to an article in a second though. There is currently just this Uber exchange. Hearts gets forced in a kind of passive position, so there's a better Uber on Tertio and Burden, who both get blasted into the Skybox. They're actually seeding this out. Skyper is still behind. Maybe he can make something work. No, he actually can't. Yeah, they will just straight away give this up. There's still kind of 7 minutes. How is Skyper still left? Can someone kill him? Where is this entire team? Okay, they're all wandering on the card. Thomas is still behind. The kind of sides have swapped a bit, but definitely favors the offending team right now.
It's really not good. These are really, really late deaths for really important players. Skyper, the demo, and Ollie, the sniper, those are 2 classes you really want up on third. They're the most important classes on third, bar none. Probably more important than your medic. They're just about to respawn now, but you take a look at the ground. 2 here is already on drop down, just getting some damage in. Hearts actually going to get taken down by Stinghan. Stinghan's just walked up through Shithouse and gone for a body shot. Easy as. 2 her does go down, but that distraction was worth it. And no heals for the defending team now. Tertio at 80%, huge advantage. Another 10 seconds until Hearts is back in the game. Fire does take down Stinghan, so that's going to be a bit of a consolidation for them. No sniping to be worried about for the time being. And actually, Ollie, Thomas starting to pick up a couple of frags here. They're doing okay. But Hearts is up. They're going to have an Uber to contend with here. Zamp has got a level 2 up. But is it going to be enough, Domaytoe? Can they survive this onslaught?
I feel like they have to be a bit more aggressive maybe on Hearts when he pushes in now, because what I wanted to emphasize on the first point is that Hearts is playing this really cockily and a bit too brave at points. He does pop really early though, and he loses his scout because they had like 3 players. A medic can't flash 3 players at once. Someone would know that, but yeah, just got piped there. And they're still assuming this kind of passive position. No frags actually going down, they're just exchanging this health advantage. The card though only goes up the first hill, which is kind of the crucial thing, because it's a bit too slow for this push to work. They do get Skyper in the end, but they do lose too high. It's still kind of equal. They're getting a lot of pressure on this card, so I'm not sure if the defending team is brave here. They can definitely defend this, but I don't feel like they will. They're just giving this kind of card time for free. They're probably waiting for the Uber. There comes the snap from Ollie, and they're retaking this, as they just have to clean this up. Very still on this card. They do have the Uber, but they need like brave people to contest this card here.
I just think there's no communication here. Like, if you look how far forward Hearts is, he's got Pirate for company. If he gets forced here, it's really bad. Ollie is getting snipes. Bees went to contest that cart with the conch. No one helped him, so he died. Skyper died. The Uber is used now on third, and all they're going to use it for is to run away to last. That means Tertio, who's at 90%, is going to have a huge Uber advantage to push into last here. They've got 4.5 minutes to go. They can fail this push and fail another 2 or 3 and still have time to win this game. Skyper has gone down again. I just feel that there's aggression coming out of some players on weak sellers, like Bees, like Skyper. They're getting aggressive, they're going forward. Thomas has been behind so much getting frags, but the rest of the players aren't supporting. They're kind of playing a little bit too passive. As we see them coming up the stairs now, Sis is going to try the best to try to push them away, but Vori's going to take a ton of that Uber, get a couple of kills there. They're going to drop down to the low ground, have some more frags. Skyper is going to do the best he can to try and maybe take down Dito here, but it's not looking good for weak sellers.
I like how Ollie was just scoped in and just didn't recognize that there was an Uber completely coming in on him, and he just died without even recognizing. That was really fun to watch. Tunnel visioning snipers. Hearts goes under though. On fire! He's so lit, and he actually pops this time. He found Detour after they popped down, and probably not going to be the best Uber in the world because they just lose all of their players to demos. He's just spamming them, and they actually revolved behind them. 2HUD is just spamming hearts here from balcony, and they just didn't have their communication up. What you said, like, it's so easy for them right now because the offensive team ended up on the kind of the positions that the defensive team usually takes advantage of. And there we go.
Right now, like, you look where 2HUD is on the balcony. Stinghan was up a little bit further down. Stinghan has a view of every area. If someone wants to defend the point, they have to walk through a spawn door and walk into the open. Stinghan can shoot them as soon as they come into the open. As soon as they want to hit that cart, he shoots them. 2HUD, who's on the high ground, he is watching anyone who gets close to the cart. Anyone who's actually actively trying to block the cart, he's going to kill. You look at Hearts, who was trying to get back into spawn. There's just so much open space in that area that he just gets gunned down with the minigun at mid-range. Like, he's just getting destroyed. Now you take a look at everybody else, they're locking down those spawn doors. So if anyone does come through those spawn doors, they're going to be so weak. And then there's players on the cart, ×3, just trying, like, that was just executed to perfection. People in the right positions, it just makes it so difficult. Practically impossible if you don't get a lucky pick or an insanely clutch pick for the defending team to do anything there. And the thing is, weak sellers are putting themselves into those positions because of that third hold. I mean, they had an Uber disadvantage, and they knew that. Hearts was at like 20%. Uber came in. The Uber is denied really well, actually. They denied it really well. They got no picks off of it. Ollie was still alive, sniping. Sis was pushing away everybody. They could have easily just held that. But the thing is, once they held that, once they denied that Uber, they didn't retake the ground on third. They just stayed where they were, really passive. So when you got people like Bees trying to get aggressive and block the cart, or Skyper who's trying to trying to take back that slope, they're dying because they're the only people peeking out into the open. Everyone else survives, but you're surviving at the cost of so much time and the loss of crucial players on your team. What you need to do is everyone go, okay, the Uber's off now, let's go forward and retake that ground. But they never did that. So what they did was they stayed passive, they stayed alive, they bled out a few players, they baited the aggressive players on their team, and then basically inVision just walked forward and then got an easy force onto Hearts. And from
it's
then
almost
onwards,
as if fixed teams didn't have enough coordination to win against big teams that actually play a lot of games together. Yeah, I mean, definitely what you said, like, definitely was an indicator as well, what I wanted to say before, where Hearts was basically just way too aggressive. Like, you can make this kind of playstyle work where you just walk forward as a medic, but you have to have your team on the same wavelength there. When you said they put themselves in this position, yes, this happened on third in this kind of strategic game plan that you just told us, CeeJaey, but this also happened when Hearts dropped on the low ground, went under with a heavy alone, while the entire team of the of the other team of the inVision pushed their spawn. So that was kind of beneficial to the cause of actually defending a point from your defensive positions. So you definitely have a right to say that. You also have a right to kind of trash a bit more players when you go down the logs. But I feel like, yeah, definitely, I feel like we have pointed out the main mistakes, that they just have to play a bit more together with the combo and just have to be on the same wavelength, because they're not getting out DM'd. They're kind of getting out-stratted, and they're getting out-stratted by themselves, kind of.
Yeah, I mean, that's well put. That's well put. It's not a DM thing. It's not a quality difference. I mean, when we look at the inVision team, a lot of these players, you look at 2HUD, who's Prem debut of the season in his first season. Domaytoe has played a lot of Highlander seasons, many classes in Prem with many different teams. He's got a lot of experience. FTH has played in Prem. Demos has played in Prem. Tercy's played in Prem. Like, the inVision team has a lot of players who've played in Prem for, a number of seasons. When you look at the other side, you take a look at weak sellers. The only person or the only people who've played a lot of Prem would be, I guess, Zamperoni and Hearts. Zam's played a couple of seasons with, like Pele, got to the final. Hearts played as Soldier, as Medic, for a number of different teams. I'm not sure if Bees has played Prem. I think he might have played 1 or 2 games. Like, there isn't the same level of experience, but I would say when you kind of put it down the middle and look at the two different teams, I don't think you'd say, wow, this one team is hugely outskilling the other. It's not. We're not seeing that in this game. Like, we're seeing it's strategic mistakes. You take a look at the logs, and Stinghan is going to be top fragging again. 22 kills in 22 minutes. You know, if he's left unchecked like he is, he's just allowed to get kills in the background. And he isn't the major factor in this game. It's just the fact that he's not under any pressure. So he's able to just kill things at will. You take a look at the demos, they've pretty much got, you know, equal kills. There is more damage from Wiethoofd, but I mean, you take a look at the difference of the deaths. Like, Wiethoofd died 9 times, Skyper died 20 times. I think Skyper's getting really aggressive. Either he needs to dial it back, or the rest of his team needs to support him. At the moment, they're playing to 2 different tunes, and that's just not working out for them. But yeah, I mean, again, it's just the team coordination is allowing people like Stinghan, it's allowing people like Vori to get in behind and just kind of get frags unnoticed. You know, they're not involved in the Ubers or they're not involved in the major fights. They're just killing people, picking them off here and there. B's top fragging, actually, for Weak Cake Sellers, 19 kills. Again, he was one of those players who was getting aggressive but not getting the support. So, I mean, this is Warmtick. This is King of the Hill, Domaytoe. This is a totally different story. And this was, in fact, picked by Weak Cake Sellers. So you'd assume this is a map that is towards their preference. But, I mean, what do they need to do on this map, like, to kind of level this tie?
So first of all, there are 3 things they need to do. First of all, they did the right thing already, because it is, I just want to say it once again for the record, 30 degrees in my room right now, and they picked Warmtick, so I feel like the season definitely does favor them. Also, the upcoming season maybe with this kind of pick, even though it is basically the worst King of the Hill map in the game, in a very objectified opinion, obviously. So, second thing they need to fix is actually something they need to fix is where they have to play around their flank a bit more against their spamming classes, use their Ubers to take positions rather than getting out and getting into really questionable positions. Then, the third thing is they have to rename themselves, because CeeJaey, I mean, wheat cake, you know what you get from eating wheat cake? Yes, it's true, you get high. So how will these people ever go Prem? If they basically, yeah, okay. Anyway, so they have to play this kind of better now, as Upward is too long didn't read kind of answer for that. But to be quite fair, they have the potential to do this. They just need someone to step up with their voice and their game, and just like Hartsford saying when he was brave back in the day and jumped every medic 10,000 times with a beggar's bazooka, he has to say, we are not taking this from anyone, we just walk forward and actually have his players following up, or they also need to stay passive and actually walk around another person who is main calling, who isn't Swiss. So there are a lot of kind of stuff that they can make work here. I feel like they have like this map maybe a bit more forgiving for making like kind of one mistake, you know. They can maybe adapt a bit more because they have a bit of rounds, and in Upward, if you misposition yourselves, then you basically have no chance anymore because you have like massively bad defense. So and if you like position yourself badly here, then it maybe costs you like 1 minute of like 1 round or something, you know. Like, it isn't the worst thing in the world, but they definitely have to use their thinker right now.
Absolutely. I mean, it's totally different, and you're going to see players like, you know, Vori and Thomas go head to head. We're seeing the soldiers, bees, and demos kind of controlling or trying to control that high ground. You know, it's really important that those fragging classes, as we call them, the sixes classes, really get involved in this game. I'm worried about Weak Cake Sellers, because a lot of the reason they lost on, you know, Upward was because of, like you said, tactical team mistakes and backing out on points after losing fights. If they can't get picks and push forward and take ground and stuff like that on this map, then, like you say, the time is just going to tick down, and it's gonna be really difficult for them to get into this. But they picked it, so, you know, logic would dictate they're confident on it. So we'll see how it goes. It is going to be a swapping of the colors. No, it doesn't matter. inVision in the red, and we are going to see Weak Cake Sellers in the blue. We actually do see Tusha is now on Soldier, Demos is now on Demo, and Wiethoofd is now on Heavy. So swapping up the classes a bit. Is that going to affect anything? We'll see, as both teams are kind of playing a bit passive. Demos is getting aggressive, trying to get some damage down onto Buck, who drops down. Wiethoofd with 2 kills on the Soldier and the Spy, opening things up. And it does look like inVision are getting control of this mid-fight.
Demos got so much ground, and he didn't get pressured there. He was such an easy pick, but the Heavy had to drop down from it. Actually didn't get him, and in the end it favored inVision, but in the long-term fight, I think it's more about the respawns. It looks like they have a kind of play advantage here, but it's only Skyper and Hearts really forward with Scissors, where they actually get forced. There comes the Uber. I'm unsure. It isn't really the best kind of decision out of both teams. But the main thing is inVision haven't kept yet, but it kind of revolves back again, so it can basically be an entire new mid-fight now. As the conch comes in though for the red team, so maybe they can make something work with this. It's just that Six's classes get a bit forward. Kind of Tuha assumes top right position, okay, he goes down again, but yeah, they're still not capping this out. Stingen goes down, Demos goes down. They kept this, but they're just getting all scrambled. They're on the low ground, so just instant recap for Hearts to actually stay alive and has around 80% advantage once Tertiary spawns.
I was going to say, I didn't agree with that Uber from Wheat Cake Sellers. I didn't know what they were actually trying to do with it. They blocked the capture of the point and they just extended the mid-fight, but in the end, kind of DM-wise, it works out well for them. You know, and now they have 100% for Hearts. He is on the point, they have control of the point, and it's going to be up to inVision now to try and kind of seek an opening, get something done, see if they can get a frag onto someone important, maybe get a force, and try and retake this point. We see, wow, absolutely zooming across his demo. He's taking that high ground, but he's going to lose out to Bees. And we do see really so much aggression coming in, but they're just running into a meat grinder. And Mark is just stood there, holding mouse one.
And Tertiary gets stabbed in the end. It's kind of the thing, CeeJaey. I was about almost to say like, oh no, they're not completely overextending without any brain. They're maybe suiciding, and then I realized, oh no, their medic is forward and they're all dying. And now the Wheat Cake Sellers can get aggressive on them. It kind of equals out in the end because there's a bit kind of a quicker spawn on Hearts. But yeah, I mean, they kind of okay, Beast Creators there. But yeah, CeeJaey, they're just trying to make this work with a dry aggression here.
They can do this with a dry push, but they've got to be careful. Again, like you said, if they have their medic in the exchange, then it's going to be difficult for them. We do see Stingen trying to hold this high ground. Wiethoofd the heavy this time around is trying to just make sure no one pressures his sniper. And it's just really well played by them, but they're losing players and they're not getting any ground because Buck is all too aware of what they're trying to do. Wiethoofd actually has to...
Look at the rotations from the heavy. This holy heck, this sensitivity is making me completely anxious or something. Yeah, just regrouping here. It's kind of equal Ubers right now, but they have 1 minute in their favor, honestly, so they definitely have to make something work on inVision right now.
Actually, they use on the dot. They've used underneath onto Vori and Borden and Demos. They come in from underneath, wrapped around behind. It didn't matter because Hearts died. He was kind of near the drop down and just gets taken out. So there was no counter Uber available. It may have caught them out before Hearts actually got to 100%. But basically, yeah, I mean, nobody was watching under. Nobody was aware that Uber was coming in through the tunnel underneath.
Fire is watching this time. Maybe they have their kind of suicides a bit down. I mean, they have the time to make this work. They still have kind of over 1 minute in their favor. Skyper goes down early, which is kind of weakening to a possible kind of suicide wave. Hearts does get a bit aggressive. They're just developing their sniper on the right side. FDH is in, but he's basically the only one on their side. Fire goes down. They're just kind of fighting towards this as Tertiary is holding kind of close, and this there's an Uber advantage, so they have to watch out that they don't get caught out here.
Yeah, I mean, they're in a decent position. They do use the Uber, but Demos gets launched in the air. He's going to jump forward. He's surely going to get Hearts. He does again. They're too far forward with an Uber disadvantage. They're going to lose a bunch of players. Wiethoofd dies to a reflect pipe from Sis. That's going to be the only frag they managed to get. Skyper goes down late as well, as does Ollie. People are just picking up frags and they're just dying out of sync is not good on a King of the Hill map. And they are just under a minute behind here, but inVision looking good to hold on for a bit longer with this Uber advantage.
Demos is pounding these noobs on his main class right now. I mean, he's only having one S too much, otherwise he would basically be named Demo. Zamperoni goes down on top right there. Yeah, Demos got juggled in the, on top and then took down the soldier. Now Skyper gets his head taken off. Yeah, and the thing is, they almost could have actually backed out, but it was really nice Uber management from Tertiary and just the rest of the players kind of realizing what has to be done. Like, they had this Pyro and the Demo Uber, which was, and Scout as well, which was really important. And this is kind of the stuff that Wheat Cake Sellers need to do to get their grip on this game once again, because right now it equals out the time and they still have 30% advantage on the kind of side of inVision.
Yeah, you take a look at the positioning of Hearts and Wheat Cake Sellers. So, like, they're on the ramp. If an Uber comes in and they get launched forward, they're going to die. So they have to be careful here, but they have finally got Uber. They're pressuring the point and it looks like a pause.
Hooray! It's the pause strategy. It's where you kept the point and then you pause and then the enemy team can't do anything about it and the HUD is in your favor.
Yeah. I mean, it's a big strat and frowned upon. Totally non-existent, but it does look like weak excellers. I don't really understand why they're getting this point for free.
Because
I mean-
the enemy team, CeeJaey, is passive because they don't own a microphone.
Well, I mean, you just take a look at where Demos and Vori, Tercio, they're all underneath the point with this Uber.
Oh yeah.
So
they're
again,
right.
nobody's watching it. There's no sentry. There's nobody there's no way anybody is going to know that they're underneath. There's literally no way of knowing because there's nobody nearby at all. So they're going to be coming underneath with this Uber, and they're going to come in behind. Now, they've taken a long time to do this. If they'd done it earlier, they would have caught Hearts out before he got his Uber. But he now has Uber, and weak excellers are in control of the point. As he has come out, they've used early. Hearts is weak, and he does use it. They've lost a couple of players here. Yeah,
which is he's also dropped on his trap behind. Oh no! There comes Beast. He does connect with him, but he dies in the end. I feel like, my HUD is probably broken because I'm pretty sure they kept this point on the kind of side of weak kick sellers. Should be anyway. What you said, they kind of sacrificed their own heavy there for this kind of lower push, and then the main issue was that Hearts dropped his pyro. He could have actually denied this. I have absolutely probably no idea what is happening right now because, as I was saying, broken HUD. But Thomas, I'm a kind of engineer with a high ping out and a sentry gun. He is such an incredible player. But they're just kind of fighting towards this point, as I'm pretty sure once inVision cap, this is probably going to be over.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be close. We'll have to see how it goes. 30 seconds is being called here for weak excellers. If they get a few more picks, could be starting to go a bit well for them. But both teams seem a bit hesitant in kind of initiating any aggression. It's equal Ubers, but no Ubers in play. Fire with the backstab and Skyper with the damage. FDH is going to kill Hearts as we get another pause.
I literally just reconnected from retrying. I was just about to say, oh no, it's 30 seconds for inVision, so weak cake sellers can give this up, repush, and then pause once again.
I mean, I'm looking at Bees right now. He's throwing a rocket down. I mean, there's an Iron Bomber pipe that's going to miss him. But the Iron Bomber is dumb, so it might just explode in midair because it feels like it. So, you never know. But that rocket from Bees is going to hit Tuja. That's going to launch him backwards. So Tuja's going to lose that high ground at least. But it's looking pretty good for weak cake. So there's Skyper with so much damage.
It definitely favors them in the end. They actually got a lot of kind of important frags. It was when you want to push this point and it's not in, you haven't kept it really. Then it's kind of crucial to get the frags, but you don't have to get the frags instantly. It's also crucial for your players just to stay alive and just play around your kind of spawn advantage. You just have to.
Wait. I'm sorry to interrupt, but just. Huh? Right, so look at behind where the blue point is. So Skype has just done a ton of damage, right? And he's killed a couple of players. FTH is, he's within touching distance. Like, he's basically molesting him right now. He's going to get the kill on the backstab. Buck is focused on him because he's like, hey, maybe I can save my demo. He doesn't realize FTH is at full HP. It ain't going to happen. Right. Skype is dead. But if you look behind Buck, who's on fire, because he's a madman. Yeah. Look behind Tercio's just chilling there. Like, why is Tercio alone in drop down?
And fighting fire. This is
fighting fire. Like
who has a sticky bomb on him from the demo
there's
man.
an Iron Bomber. So that's going to launch fire somewhere after the unpause. Tercio might hit an arrow, so we could see fire die here.
No, fire will not die. I'm pretty sure he will just turn around, then kill Buck. Buck doesn't get the kill on FDH, and FDH gets the backstab onto Skyper. What is your prediction? Like, that's my prediction. What's your one?
Okay, right. This is what happens next. Okay, so B's midair. He's launched a rocket onto Tuha. Tuha's knocked off from the high ground. B's is at 42 HP. He's going to land on the crate, throw another rocket down. It's going to kill Demos, but he's going to die to the mini sentry. Okay, so then Tuha's going to jump back up, and he's going to kill Zamperoni. He's on the point. Okay.
But these are two. We can't compare two completely different scenarios. What I said is completely independent from your
FTH kills Skyper. Okay, but Buck is going to kill FTH. Then we have Sis, the Pyro. He's going to walk across the point. He's going to try and air blast Vori. He's going to go straight for the point to try and cap. And then we're going to see Tercio probably die to Buck. But fire is going to get launched back by the pipe. As he's in midair, Tercio is going to hit the arrow Okay, so Fire's going to die. And once that happens, Fire is going to be like, yo, there's a medic there. And then Buck's going to be like, oh. And then just look at him for like a quarter of a millisecond. And then, Heavy's just going to kill him.
Okay,
and
no.
Yeah.
For the record, before this goes live again, so you say Buck wins against Tertio, and this is basically the main difference we have.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think so. I can't see anybody else here. Stingen's just going to chill. He's literally got no one to shoot, so...
And I say Sis isn't going towards the point and goes M2 like a kind of boring pyro. He goes back to chase the spy.
Oh no! I've just thought of something.
Oh no!
I've something else in the equation. Look at Stingen. Okay, he's got a sideline onto Fire. He's not going for Fire. He's looking up. Who's he looking at? Bees.
Bees.
If he hits a body shot, no scope onto Bees, bam, right? Yeah, big frag clip kills him. Okay. It doesn't matter. 2 hits still going to get launched off. 2 hits still going to get launched off. But if he kills Bees, that means Demo survives, and that means that he's going to go onto the point and just launch a bunch of Iron Bombers, and then everyone's going to die because you can't stop the Iron Bomber. It's too strong. So Stinghan can either win this game for his team, or he can take his pizza sniper rifle and I don't know, just not. Here we go. And,
back it! No! Okay,
so
back
kills
Tertio. Yeah! Okay, we just go quickly at you, but Sis went to chase the spy, so we basically have 50-50 being correct here. And okay, Wiethoofd Sellers kept this out.
I'm just saying, that's exactly what I thought was going to happen.
No,
I'm not sure whether I put it across
the point,
correctly.
and I said he will chase the spy.
Yeah, I have a sore throat, so I'm not sure if it came across well on the cast, but that's exactly what I said. But the summary of that, guys, is Wiethoofd take the first round on this second map. So finally getting themselves onto the scoreboard. As Skyper is so aggressive, Thomas there to protect him. And we do see some decent damage exchange across the point. Sis just going to be reflecting his rockets. Big jump in from Bees. Gets some nice damage down, but Stingen is going to get the first frag onto Ollie. So no sniper pressure from Wiethoofd for the time being. And it does look like inVision are taking advantage of that. Walking forward, taking control of the ground. And making sure, but Zamperoni and Thomas coming from behind. Tertio is under pressure. Zamp can't finish off, and Thomas doesn't decide to engage in that fight. Decides to go to the spawn and maybe do a little bit of cheeky spawn camping. But it is inVision who win that mid fight of this second round much quicker than they did before, Domaytoe.
It's unfortunate that Wiethoofd sellers don't know what a high ground is, because the main thing is if they kind of rolled this this first mid fight, then it definitely would have favored them way more in the momentum. You won the first kind of round clutchly, and then you basically wrecked a midpoint, but someone else gets wrecked. It is the hotspots going down to FDH. So
I'm sorry, you talking about people without headsets? FDH was spawn camping the telly. He kills Zamp. He saps it. He then goes in and kills the medic, and then he goes and kills the demo. He's got away with so much in a short space of time. Absolutely crazy. And again, it's the assassin classes who are making these huge openings, which makes it a lot easier for the rest of the team to kind of win these fights.
Yeah, it's either Hearts not owning a headset or someone else not being able to speak proper English. Currently, they are fighting towards this point. Zamperoni is onto the demo. Onto demos actually as well, and they're just pushing this forward here. They still have 40% advantage. They shouldn't get caught off by this once again. But they're kind of getting them the cap time. They're bleeding their kind of health down, but Buck goes down, Skyper as well, because just this pressure enables you. Once again, this time though, really good denied by kind of by the Pyro. Sis also saves with the Surf. FDH as well, so Sis kind of made Hearts survive, but it definitely, I mean, he has full Uber now, but the time still favors the inVision team.
Yeah, they're still in control. We do see a lot of pressure coming in here. Sis is very weak. He needs a bit more help here. And Hearts is just trying to tank the people getting pressure on the point. The Uber is used quite early on. They're going to have to chase people down into this elbow area too. With that Fists of Steel up, he is taken down by the bottle. Who knew just whacking someone with a bottle when they have hands made of literal metal would win? It just does. Don't argue. But it does mean Wiethoofd sellers get control of the point. They do have control, but they don't have Uber advantage, as Tertio survived that exchange. And he does have, well, let's have a look. He has 95%. And it's like they're going towards this elbow area, getting some space with their sniper to look at the point. But most importantly, getting those players invulnerable and closer to the combo of the blue team.
Zamperoni killed the enemy engineer, so everything is worth it for now. I have to question.
Oh,
Hearts goes down to Stingin. That got a Stingman as well. To be quite fair, there's so much frags just going on. They actually used this from drop down somewhere. Once again, just with this conch. There comes just this kind of unparalleled aggression that kind of the wheat cake sellers have to step up to make this work to be on par with the inVision team. But yeah, what I wanted to say before, Zamperoni, I don't know why an engineer is behind the enemy lines, like more as a spy or something with like 40 HP, but I guess this works. But yeah, wow. Okay, Hearts dies once again, CeeJaey. What is that? He got telecamped. Go down.
Yeah, I mean, Demo's just... yeah, I mean, it's really difficult on a map like this when stuff like that happens. It's hard to... You know, you got 2 minutes to make up here, and Hearts and Zamperoni have just been killed in tandem twice in a row. Like, talk to each other. What is going on? First is Demos, then is Tuha on the Soldier. I mean, you need to, like, medic's kind of important in TF2. I think you'll agree on that.
Only if I'm the medic. If gets a full kill onto Ollie, they still have this Uber advantage here, this big Uber advantage, and they don't have the time to get close to the point. So that is a very convincing win to a team that is called Wasp here on this kind of scoreboard, which you can't see, and I feel like they're kind of onto something. But yeah, CeeJaey, it's 1-1, and it was kind of convincing round. They have to keep up the momentum to stay in the game here, the wheat cake sellers, otherwise they're going high.
Yeah, they need to take that round and just put it away and just say, hey, we screwed up there. It went really wrong. Let's play like we did in that first round. As they do, you know, not as aggressive this time on the mid fight, maybe not wanting to expose themselves to any snipes or anything like that. Bees again with the launch, but gets taken down by Nipnop, that shotgun aim from the NG, but he does go down to Ollie. We are just seeing a couple of exchanges across the point, players going down, but there we go, inVision starting to open things up there. FTH and Vori picking up a couple of frags there on the Meteor classes, and that defense just isn't there anymore, so the rest of the wheat cake sellers team has to back off.
He's just getting hit. He's just getting baited to oblivion. Poor guy, honestly. Someone has to just step up on their team, just say, we can go forward into these people instead of just backing out all the way and just baiting our flank constantly. There are equal Ubers right now, so we have to see how they... Okay, Ollie goes down, which isn't the worst thing in the world, but they just get aggressive here. They kind of takes this exchange, but it's once again just favoring inVision. I mean, Tertium flashes a lot, but they still have this high ground. I don't know why Vori commits to Hearts so much, because he's still invulnerable. And there's a scout MG just going on, but woo, I mean, kind of scrappy Uber exchange. There is Burden surfs onto the crate and kills the demo. Just so much going on once again, and only Fire and Sis up on 30 HP.
Yeah, I mean, Tertium died there to Buck, so it was a good play there. Vori was trying his best to try and kill Hearts, just wasn't managing it. He was really, really weak, had to back off there, and FTH was like, alright, if you can't do it, I'll do it, and just gets the backstab. So in the end, they do have a small Uber advantage because of the difference in the spawn waves, but that could have been so much more if Hearts had somebody just to kind of chaperone him away from all of the action. But Ollie opening things up with a kill on 2 Sting Ants, no sniper, but wow, this aggression just comes in. Hearts goes down to D-Toad of all people, the heavy with the Tommy stab, taking him down. We see Bees coming in from behind. Can he get any damage down? No, he can't. Tuja's going to take him down. And again, it just seems like there's these individual plays going on, and no one's really following up on it. Like, if your soldier's going in, the rest of you should just walk across. If you lose your medic, then there should be a coordinated suicide to try and, you know, get something away from the enemy team, but that's just not happening at the moment. 1 minute 20 left for inVision, and Weak Sellers have yet to cap a point in this round.
It definitely shows that they don't have their coordination down. The main issue is also that on weak Kexers, FTH literally kills Buck so many times. They don't have a heavy, basically, essentially, and they're just leading so many players just to this fort aggression. Buck, they're on the drop, then he gets a lot of damage. Skyper goes down. There comes the Uber exchange. Hudson has to survive here. He has Sis, so he's a potential because Sis has been doing very well this game. Stingen also goes down, so they don't have a sniper to worry about. Someone help Beast, please. Okay, he goes down, and they can just drive push this here. Come on, Tuha is down. They still have this Uber, they probably don't need to use this, but be quick, be on this point, be on the same wavelength. They're still behind this point. If you get your players up, like your Pyro and your Scout, come on, like you don't even have to use here, just pressure them out. I don't know why Thomas, they don't need to commit so much, because they still even have kept the point, and they get forced. I don't like this.
They, again, we talked about it, they're playing singing from different song sheets, you know? Half the team is playing passive, the rest of the team is trying to be aggressive. if they'd listened to CeeJaey calling there and got aggressive, they would have cleaned up a bunch of kills and probably not even had to use the Uber. If they did and used that Uber, they would have probably killed Terrace here anyway. So it's a win-win situation. But because they play passive, some of the players get killed, they start bleeding out, and then, you know, HUD gets forced because players aren't all playing around him. You see Tuha here just getting so aggressive, controlling this area, this elbow area. Demo's getting aggressive, jumping forward, trying to get some stuff, and he takes down HUD. He takes down Sis as well. Oh my days.
Yeah, sorry.
This should be allowed to happen.
Yeah, I mean, it was really, really nice pipes, and I feel like Sis is getting a bit let down by his team because he has done really well. Like, no blame on him there, but like these bombs are just so like massively good, honestly. And to be quite fair, they just have to keep this out of their minds. Like, they're losing hearts so often, they're just losing to this aggression so often. Just take a position, fight for this, and just move together forward, like as a unit. And stop singing from different song sheets, just start playing and stop singing.
Absolutely. I mean, we do see some pressure here. They have to go on the point as it is now overtime for inVision, and it does look like they get a few kills. This is like, okay, I mean, this is the pub effect. Terrace has to use his Uber. Hearts is at 80%. No, he gets by Stingen. Stingen takes down Skyper and Hearts. And then we do see everyone else starts to bleed out there. They have to go on the point. Bees is the only one really who can get anything done here. Ollie with the nice pipe, but it's not going to be enough as inVision win it. I mean, it's called the pub effect, Domaytoe, because you know in like the last 20 seconds of a pub where the announcer's like, oh, the game's nearly over. Everyone's like, oh, hey, let's just press W and walk forward. And then the attacking team always gets it.
Like, let's all form a team and go into the Prem qualifiers, because it kind of looked like it.
No, but I mean, it's like that desperation play. Like, Wiethoofd had to get on the point, and when they all ran forward together, all started pressing W, they won. They had like a really good exchange there. So that's what they need to do all throughout the round, and they can actually get back into this game. But at the moment, at the point of speaking, inVision are one round away from taking that final spot in the Premiership division.
They definitely need like way more of this. The main issue is if you don't Bees gets juggled so much, he surfs onto the other crate as well and gets killed by Wiethoofd in the end. Stingen goes down though, like, get aggressive. Zamperoni is surfing into the enemy team, he completely surfs behind, doesn't get anything. Did look pretty, but hands once again a kind of play advantage to players, which is basically the enemy team. There comes though the Uber in time, kind of on Hearts. It isn't really, it's still mid-fight, no team has kept it. There is a Uber onto Burden, both Ubers are kind of equal. They get a lot of cap time here, Sis really good denies, but Hearts goes down once again, CeeJaey.
FTH is just being given so much time and space to get stuff done. I mean, Wiethoofd should potentially still win this. If they just throw bodies onto the point, they can get some, but again, they just stood there. Do something! Don't just wait. Bees gets a frag on Tabori. So, I mean, that's an opening. Skyper's walking forward. They're getting damage. Walk forward together. Don't just stand there. They've basically given up all the time, the cap time they had on that point. It's degenerated now. And Terrace here at 80%. That's a huge Uber advantage. Now, this is Highlander. This is competitive TF2 101. You have an Uber disadvantage. Don't be in a position where you're going to die when the enemy team moves onto you. Okay? So now inVision Uber in. Wiethoofd are too close forward. Back actually does take down Domaytoe, but then everyone else is just kind of dying around.
I like how this is still mid-fight.
It's Wiethoofd somehow win, so you know, I don't even know. I don't even know anymore.
Finally,
I don't know anything about Highlander apparently.
Hearts went into kind of lower with his Pyro and his Scout, so he actually survived. And finally, they're going to cap this out and have 40% advantage. I like the playing this kind of conservatively, and even if the time degenerates down, you know, CeeJaey, you don't have to play like a degenerate, and I feel like they're not doing this right now, because they're playing a bit more aggressive. They're finally playing how inVision held. Like, when they had Uber advantage, I don't even know if they had Uber advantage before, because Hut just died so often, but they're playing a bit more aggressively. They just have way more courage. This gives Ollie the space. Ollie gets the pick. There we go. Tuha also gets denied, so they're getting these frags, and they're kind of looking a bit better here, in better shape. They're kind of losing players, though. That's kind of the crucial part there once again.
The thing is, every time they make an exchange in this way, if they're trading 1 for 1, that favors the team without the point, because they have faster spawns. But Fire, big kill onto demos. That is, you know, having that much damage removed from the game is huge. So Wiethoofd is looking much better here, and Uber is
good
used.
Force.
Can Skyper get saved? No, Skyper gets dropped out of this. It is going to be a better counter Uber coming in from Wiethoofd, and Thomas is going to go and take the majority of it. There's not much he can do there. There's no damage for him to clean up on. A couple of plays down for both teams here. Sis is going to get finished off by Vori, who's picking up a couple of frags, and again, he's just cleaning up here. When there's weak players around, and inVision just dry pushing with that man advantage, and are able to recapture the point, finally capturing the point in this fourth round here. But Weak Sellers getting it again, taking down Sting and starting to get back into this.
They have good time here. The main issue in this Uber was that they dropped Skyper, and also Beast wasn't with him. Like, this Uber would have been amazing if they actually had Spam Plus in the Uber once again. FTH is just waiting for Skyper. He gets the pick as well, and Bug also goes on. So that's basically, literally, your combo down, except like Hot survives. There's still this kind of 40% Uber advantage there onto Tertiary. They're just holding once again in their banana. Nip Nop goes down, so that's basically a pushable pick. Hearts, oh no, Hearts goes down to FTH once again. Can they please control this? This isn't a free Uber, by the way, as some players say, because no Uber is ever free, but they're getting Skyper with this probably. So yeah, Hearts died once again.
It's not free, but it's like, you know, it's like it's the Amazon Prime sale. Like it's like 90% off. You kind of like, it's not free, but you know, I'm not going to regret this purchase.
But Hearts is 100% off whenever he drops.
Well, I mean, Hearts is spawned, he's at 20%, he's only about 15 behind Tercio. Like you said, it's not a free Uber. Now in this situation, Tercio and his team don't have an Uber to contest this point, and there are a few players down. So it does mean Weak Sellers can walk forward here without worrying too much about getting Ubered on, and they're actually going to recapture the point here. So just as inVision tick over there and take the lead in the time, Weak Sellers are going to reclaim it and get back into this. But take a look at the Ubers. It was about 15, it still is about 15. But Tercio is at 90%. If they Uber on the dot here, Domaytoe, this could get messy. Sis and Buck have to be ready for something. Are they going to go for an under push again?
Yeah.
It does look like I think this is a mistake.
But there's Ollie close. Ollie actually got the kind of call in the last second, so he backs away. This is kind of a really cool Uber. No, what's Hots doing? Didn't he have it? What?
I think he was at 95%.
Oh,
I mean,
Lord.
He was too far forward and kind of got caught out there.
That was almost a really good kind of position. Almost. Yeah, well, at least they don't have to worry about by Zero's down. But yeah, definitely favors inVision right now because, you know, Tertiary just survived. 30% advantage. That might have just been kind of the winning and losing play of this map, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, if Hearts survives there and he Ubers with his combo and all that combo survive and they re-push that with a better Uber, they hold on to that point, they take a bigger lead. You know, and that could have saved the round. That could have won them the round and kept them in the map. But we do see Weak Sellers, they have to go forward now. They have to get the pressure onto that area where the combo is in banana. Stinghan's there. Skyper is trying to throw some stickies there, but it's very difficult for them to do it. He's going to drop down now. You know, maybe trying to do something from there, but nobody of importance is dying. Just Vori and Zamperoni. I mean, two players that could be cleaning up there. Vori has been doing a lot of work behind the scenes. But actually picking off players one by one. Domaytoe goes down, so heavy. Weak Sellers need to go now. Is equal Ubers, but they're dropping players. This is going to be an equal exchange. Thomas is in this. Vori is going to be coming into it late on. He's going to be really important. But 3 up for inVision here, Domaytoe, and Weak Sellers are holding on.
Yeah, really nice. Just all go on this point really quickly so you can cap and don't pause once again, as the stuttering maybe implies. Stinghan went down, so you don't have anyone to worry about, really. Not even a worry, because he's also down. Okay, I made the second time. Now it's dead. I'm sorry. Yeah, Worry just wrote into chat, not again, so he is hearing the vibes from the birthplace. But they can make this work right now. As we said, like, definitely was kind of the play that would have made it easier for them. Ollie, really nice surf onto top left. Maybe he can do something. Okay, no, he goes down to FTH. Ubers are equal. It's really about this aggression right now.
Yeah, I mean, they're in control of the point. They need to win this fight. If they win this fight, that is pretty much the round one. But if inVision win it, then it's pretty much the round and the map and the match for them as they get a kill onto Zamperoni. Teleporter is down. Hearts gets domed by the manager himself. There's 3 down for Weak Sellers. The rest of them are weak. Buck gets cleaned up by Vori, dominating him. Demos and Detour are combining to take down Bees. This is not looking good right now for Weak Sellers. They have 10 seconds left on the clock, but it's 15 seconds left and control of the point for inVision right now. Weak Sellers just need to roll on forward with these buffs, get onto the point and hope that they just somehow win this DM fight against a bunch of buff players with an Uber in the bank. Domaytoe, they're going forward. Zamperoni is the first one to die. Uber's used onto Morden and Detour. They're just going to clean up those players. Hearts doesn't die, but he's going to die after the cleanup. And it is in fact inVision winning the second map 3-1. after taking upward 2-0. That is going to be a clean sweep. 2 maps to 0. WeakXL is going to be playing in high, but we inVision returning to Prem the first time since season 14. They'll be competing with the big boys, Domaytoe. I mean, is that justification after what we've seen today?
Yes. I don't want to call out single player names, so instead of hearts, I won't do this. But in general, CeeJaey, what happened in the end was kind of what we just said all game. I mean, they kind of squandered away when we said like this one push that they could have maybe soaked up into a banana, maybe kind of this 10 seconds or even only 5 seconds difference. But after that, the thing is, inVision, like after all, whenever you root for the underdogs, like still inVision just played it better throughout both games. Like they could have, like as we said, maybe should have done like, like all this kind of guesswork, but in the end, if you just look on the facts, like inVision just played better and just showed how Wiethoofd should have played. So congratulations to Stinghan and his Merc shenanigans, because after you kind of show us warm tick and how warm and heated up the action actually was combined into numbers, I also still have to say something about Stinghan's nice merking shenanigans. But yeah, CeeJaey, as inVision won, inVision deserved that, and this is how Wiethoofd should have played, but they didn't. But they can practice now in high, or they can fold.
Yeah, I mean, those are the options available to them. I'm just going to take a look at the stats, and it's going to be Vori who top frags there on the scout. 27 kills in 28 minutes. I mean, those were a couple of pauses there as well, I believe. So we're probably looking at around a kill a minute. FTH just behind him with 26 kills. I mean, I've got to check out this lad. How many medic kills did he get? Because it seemed like an awful lot. He got 5 medic kills. That was the most on the server. Demos and Stinghan both got 4 each. So doing pretty well for themselves. Demos got 24 frags. Borden with 23. Ollie was the top fragger for WeakXL with the 22. 24 headshots as well. So doing pretty well. I think he actually top damaged in... actually, no, he was just behind Skyper, who top damaged for that map. But he also took a ton of damage as well. But in the end, I mean, when you got... 6 of the top 7 fraggers on your team on a King of the Hill map, it's very, very difficult to get back into it.
This deficit in the total frags, this deficit in the total damage, and then when you look at Hearts dropping twice and his heals basically sums up this entire playstyle. I mean, there's also like what you can tell us, like and also told us like what players get which frags, but this is already an indicator of who just played the map better.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can take a look at the difference in the kills and the difference in things like that. I mean, Tercio died 5 times in, just under half an hour, whereas Hearts died 17 times. So that's over 3 times as much. I mean, if your medic's dying that much, then it means that you're not getting the heals, you're not getting the Ubers. I mean, they had 18 Ubers compared to 8. So there just wasn't the protection on Hearts. He was getting picked off by Spy, by Sniper, getting picked off in the Ubers. I just felt that there was just no control. I mean, if somebody had watched under, someone watches under, just kind of, it's a boring job, but you just look, then you know that Uber is going to come in through the tunnel and behind you, and you can prepare for it. Every single time it happened, they were just totally unprepared.
Yeah, but pretty sure the comm came in as well, because Ollie, like even a sniper main who never listened to anything, looked at the position and rotated, like the car should have come in. Honestly,
but I mean, if you prepare on that case, I mean, those situations don't happen. Even if you're holding in banana or elbow, whatever you want to call it, and the Uber comes in on your side from under, your pyro, your demo should be able to deny any kind of pressure onto your medic, and then you should be able to build and have enough time to counter Uber onto them, and you have control of the point, you have control of that area. It's very difficult for you to do anything, to stop that. So again, same as Upward, I think just a couple of tactical problems. Like I said at the start of the map, inVision, these players have played a lot as a group over the past few seasons, the likes of FTH, Demos, Tuha, Stinson, Tercio, Stinghan, Tercio, like all of these players have played a lot together. So that synergy is somewhat there, whereas I feel WeakXL maybe a slightly newer roster, maybe don't have that coordination just yet. Like I said, these preseason playoffs, as they're called, happen in the preseason. It happens when teams are still kind of freshly formed and may not be at their full potential just yet. But hopefully Week Excellers stay together as a team and, you know, playing high, and potentially we can see them in the future. But talking about inVision, before we go, Domaytoe, how would you rate them as a team? And, you know, based on the teams that they're going to have to play in Prem this season, how do you rate their chances? What kind of team are they going to be? Are they going to be a team trying to avoid relegation? Are they going to be a team challenging for playoffs? Like, what kind of team are they going to be?
So, first of all, I want to rate their manager and their team leader in order to step up the plays for his team and get as many mercs involved in this, because it still reminds me of Season 11. If I just look at these comments, then he's always, I'm pretty sure this is what happened as well. It's always, hey, I have this merc, you allow this merc, right? And then you ask him for like 5 hours, is this your default merc? And he's like, do you allow this merc? Do you allow this merc? Then you allow this merc, and then he comes with the default merc. So I'm just saying, I mean, it's probably legit, but it's kind of questionable. But as an entire team, I mean, they played before. I don't feel like they changed so many players, you know, like they have a lot of kind of the circle jerkish, I would say. Like, I don't think there are so many players. I think the main players are still staying. And when we just kind of look back once again, how they kind of performed before, yeah, what I mainly say, like what I said last time, when I kind of rated the chances of tokens, I said they will perform like inVision did the season before, but I can't say that really. I can say they like inVision right now will probably perform like tokens who probably performed like inVision before, you know? Like inVision will perform like inVision because the kind of the teams also are a bit harder this next season, I would say, compared to the previous season anyway. I mean, we'll have to see, like, on the top, on the looks of it, kind of objective view, it looks a bit harder. So, but it really depends how kind of keen players are, because you still have to take into consideration it is the summer. Maybe some players don't want to commit. They are old school players. They played this game. They missed a lot of family dinners for this. They played this game for a long time. Maybe they don't have the vibe anymore. But in essence, I would say they won't maybe be fighting for relegation if they are lucky. I don't want to say lucky, but when they practice a lot. But I feel like they might be on the lower quarter, but definitely depending on how the other teams actually perform and are keen the next season.
Sounds good to me. Well, thank you for watching, everyone. This has been the preseason qualifier, the only preseason Prem qualifier we're having for Highlander this season. 6 teams have been confirmed. We have last season's runners-ups, Failer Esports. We have high champions, Tourette's Chess Club. We have former champions, Strong Opinions. We have last season's third place team, Lucrosa. We also have former Prem team, Open Squad, who participated last season. And finally, inVision will be the 6 teams playing in Prem next season. The season begins next week with week 1. Schedules should be out soon. And if you want to watch the action, you'll have to come back to Critscast for more Highlander, where I may be talking over it, Domaytoe may be talking over it, and maybe Foppish will be, catching the action. But there'll be definitely somebody talking and watching for you to come and join. Keep an eye out also for upcoming charity events that are happening. We'll be having those on weekends, various cups of Prolander, Highlander 6s. There'll be UGC action as we enter the playoff stage on Mondays. And we'll also have some 6s Nations Cup games that may be casted over here as well. So there's plenty of TF2, guys. I know it's hot out there. It's summer. But if you want to stay in and watch video games, we have all the action ready for you. Thank you for watching, guys. Take care and have a great night.